Okay, so I'm just going to pick back right where I left off. So we've already had our functions in. Now here is one thing that we need to be aware of with this function that pulls these names. Is one, the reason I like using it is because number one, I don't have to type all those names out. And we all know, I'll be honest, this is a good test for us to use simply because there's not a lot of names in the not yet. But it puts the names in there and then it puts a semicolon in between each name. And I'm not having to write that out, and I'm not having to highlight or list out or create columns and do this and do that. So this is just a real quick way to do it. This function is only available in the newest possible update for Microsoft Office. So it might work on your computer. If it does not work on your computer, then there is ways for us to fix that. And I can help you with that, or Kate can help you with that. But so the cool part about this is I have transferred my names into those two for that question. And I have everything filled out. So like, I mean, I can sit here, I've got all these numbers real quick to pull off. Whoops. And, you know, I can get those numbers in there real quick for that learning target or for that standard. So it's all nice and neat and drop downs. You know, my name stays on there because once you get it saved, you can put that on there and you don't ever have to type that in again. Again, the titles of our units are drop down menus. All of these are drop down menus. Again, this one can be edited if needed, if you do not chunk your standards on a test. And then you have all of these. So, you know, it's very easy to manipulate this to where it fits the needs and the spacing. So we expanded it out for language arts because they had one test that had 4 standards that were focus standards. So it was really easy to manipulate. So like we said here, just unmerge it all. And let's say that was enough for three lines. We can merge those cells, then you know, fix them a little bit. If I want to decrease the size of the font, I can merge these cells back. And now I have 2 more boxes for my second learning target. Okay, so I'm just going to keep my learning targets separate. So I'm going to create a new sheet. All right, I'm going to fix my spacing a little bit. All right, I'm going to go back to my original Excel sheet that I downloaded from GradeCam. Notice once I downloaded this sheet from GradeCam, I don't need it anymore. I don't need GradeCam anymore, so I just close that out. So I'm going to delete my first learning target because I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to highlight here and grab everything and I copy and paste. Copy. And once I paste this, I can even get rid of this sheet. So I'm going to paste that. And I'm going to go down here and fix something real quick. This student I used her GradeCam simply because she's not here and another kid used it. So I'm going to type in the other kids' names. And I forgot to do that on the other sheet. So I fixed that. And so we have, this is LS12 for me. So I'm just going to go to this sheet. I don't need it anymore. But I love how we can now change that with the performance bands the way we need them for our district. And I don't need to save it even. Okay, so I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to click in the corner because what that does is that highlights the entire document. And I'm going to go to Data, Sort, make sure my header is turned on. My data has headers. Sort by the target. And it goes smallest to largest. And there you go. It's all done again. You can spread that out if you want to see the names, but you just write down your numbers real quick or memorize them. So A1 to A3. Now again, I realize with only 2 of them, it seems kind of lazy, but when you have more kids in those sections, you will be hopefully grateful for the function. So the next one is for partial is A4 to A10. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to type in the function. Okay, and it doesn't matter where you go as long as you're in the same column as the names. Okay, so we need an equal sign, text, join, parentheses, quotations, semicolon, space, quotations, comma, true, comma, A2, colon, A3. And then parentheses to close that function out. And you just hit enter. And you hit copy. And you go back to sheet 1. This is the top one. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to fix this and I'm going to say not LS12 not yet. And I can make it bold, underline it, do whatever I need to do there. So I don't like that. So I want to get it flush to the left side and move on. So I've got that set and ready to go. So move to the next box, go back to number 3, and same thing. Equals text, join, parentheses, quotation, semicolon, space, quotation, space, comma, true, A4, oops, I forgot my comma, A4, colon, A10, and close it out, hit enter, and your names are beautifully popping up. Copy, and you paste, and then you go in and your LS1-2, partial mastery, and it's all said and done right then and there. No stress. I'm not writing 1,000 names over and over, and I don't have 5,000 different pages to go with it. If I wanted to, I can unmerge just because I want to be picky on my spacing. I'm going to merge this. I'm going to box it in, and I'm going to take these 2 boxes here and I'm going to delete them because I don't need the spacing. And flush it to the left side. Okay, I can increase it a little bit if I want to make sure that everything is at the same font. Okay, and there you go. So here it says what other units in the standards, or what other units have most students mastered, partial mastered, or learned. Okay, this is also a drop-down box. So if I had a third target that was not a focus standard, I could easily identify that target here in this section and then just answer the same things. So if only one of these was my focus standard, I would only put one of them right here and then put the other one right here. But since I did not have a standard that was non-focus here, honestly, this for this question, you know, I guess at this point it could be left blank because I'm going to go back and cover this one as far as what I'm going to do to make sure these students retain this information. So this box that's yellow, this box that I'm turning yellow, and let's see here. I'm sorry, I take that back. I need one more box right here. Hold on, my click is not working. Let's move that right there. Cut, paste. All right, so here is the plan portion for question number 1. All right, and that part is, what is the plan to intervene with these students tracking in their progress and mastery? So this box, and make sure it's merged, all of it, because that would just help it make, so now it's merged, my text is wrapped. So those three boxes are the only three boxes that you actually have to type in now, because your names are going to be nice and neat and transferred for you, and you can keep it nice and clean. But your sheets, you can always go back to them here. But those functions, this function right here pulls those names for you, putting a semicolon in between each one, keeping it nice and clean. Now, I've gone through this little tutorial, whatever you want to call it, walkthrough, and it's total 25 minutes. So slowing down and explaining it to somebody has taken 25 minutes to complete this part. When the individuals that I've talked to so far that have done just this part that I'm highlighting right now, this part right here that I'm getting ready to highlight in green, and this part right here, talking to others as they've done it, they've been extremely frustrated because it's taken an hour or two just to do this portion, and even longer to pull these names and write them out. So now with this Excel sheet, literally in 25 minutes, I've been able to go through a tutorial, knowing and keep in mind, if I'm not doing a tutorial or walking somebody through it, I can get this done for 3 or 4 learning targets being focused, pulling names for 3 and 4 standards. I can do that in 20 minutes instead of spending hours on end doing it. Between Excel and this sheet here and being able to manipulate it, it does all the work for me. So now all I gotta do is just make sure my counts are good. And, I've got, let's see here, 2 students here, and I've got 6 students there. So 2 and 6. And then when you're doing those numbers and filling those boxes in, it's just really quick to do. And I hope it saves you as much time as it has me. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or let me know, but I'm more than glad to help you with this. And all that is needed to do that is a list of your standards, preferably in a list form. It does not have to be in an Excel sheet, because I can put it in here or show you how to do it. And then when those standards are put in, we'll figure out what is suitable for you for your questions. You have the type of questions, your unit names, and here are the ones that I use the most as far as the intervention. But you can add in or edit those that are there to do that. And it's like super, super easy to use. If you have any questions or anything, just let me know. Have a good afternoon or evening or morning.